Okay, Andrew, I have 6:31.
Sorry, I was trying to log on.
No problem. Wait, no worries.
All right. Call this meeting to order, and we'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This internet is not working very well today for me. All right, so we have what? Comments from the audience? Is there anyone who would like to make a comment out in the audience this evening? Is there even anyone here? I have no idea. Can people hear me? Is the internet working?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. So I assume no comments from the audience. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
We do not.
I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me either.
Next, we have routine business approval of minutes.
Minutes, right?
Correct.
Can someone approve the minutes of the,
January
I'm
9th.
sorry, I don't know what the date is.
It's okay. We need a motion to approve the January
For some
9th.
reason, my internet is not
minutes.
working very well.
So moved, Rhea.
Thank you, Rhea.
I'll second, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Any corrections?
Any questions, comments, or edits?
Oh no, never mind.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone
Ben
opposed?
abstain.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull the agenda up, and my internet is just not working right now.
No worries. So we're on to Board of Ed committee reports, finance.
Ashley, are you going to do that, or
Um,
I didn't prepare?
yeah, I didn't have anything noteworthy, to be honest, from the last meeting. I wasn't at the last Kappa meeting. I'd say that the budget kind of reviews just kind of continue. So no substantive updates at this time.
Okay, so the 24-25 budget is 47% expended compared to last year at this time, which was 46%. Just reminding the board that special ed is always changing. And let me pull it up for you. We can go over it. Can everybody see my screen okay? Thank you. All right, so we have a few transfers in January. We needed a reclass to cover social studies subscription, a transfer to purchase instructional supplies in music at the center school, a reclass to purchase a Yamaha Alto sax, which was on next year's replacement plan, but kids, we have a lot of interest and we need it now, so we did that. And then a reclass to cover the shortfall for psychological tests at BCS. Any questions on the transfers? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to move on to the report itself. We are still projecting full expenditure in regular education. As it stands today, we think we're in good shape with special ed. I'll just say that as it stands today. Same for projecting full expenditure right now in administration, support, and central services. Operations and transfer. I'd like to talk about the $63,000 transfer that we are requesting to cover the various repairs that are needed at Bolton Center School to fix the heating system for the remainder of this year. We actualized some more savings in salaries and benefits due to unfilled positions. And as I've shared previously, people taking different insurance than what they had originally stated, or the fact that we had some new hires that didn't take family insurance. And then, so if you approve the $63,000 transfer, the Board of Ed is sitting on a balance at the end of January of $380,000. So looking for a motion to approve the January transfers.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfers.
I'll second.
So that's Ben Davies and
Does anyone
Ashley.
have any questions?
Yeah, just a point of clarification. So are we voting on both the $36,000 transfer and the smaller ones, or just the smaller ones?
The $63,000 transfer
I'm sorry,
and the
60.
yeah, and you can do the
Okay.
63,000 as a separate one if you want to. That's up to you guys.
I just wanted to make sure I knew what we were voting on.
Yep, fair enough.
I can clarify my motion to include both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments on any of those? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? All righty. I believe that brings us to community meeting reports.
Yeah.
Nope, so I have one
Um,
more thing under finance, Andrew, please. And that is the USA Mechanical
Okay.
bid for the FY25 BCS HVAC repairs and replacements. In order to award all these fixes to USA Mechanical, because they are knee deep in it. Just want to remind everyone they were the lowest bidder. They have been in every extremity of that building. And so we're looking for a motion to waive the bid to award USA Mechanical the FY25 BCS HVAC repairs and maintenance.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Any questions or comments on this bid waiver? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed or abstaining? Okay, now that brings us to community meeting reports. Does anyone have any community meetings to report on?
So Andy, from a finance standpoint, I guess my frame of mind before was on committee meeting minutes with the town. So that was my update as it relates to Kappa. I don't have anything further.
I can just say that that the finance committee did come up with a budget that's going to be sent to the Board of Selectmen. And they did that last week.
Correct. And I, if I could just add to that as well, I just want to remind the board that the replacement of the camera system that was originally on our original list for this year has been moved to next year. And the BCS Bell system was taken off in the hopes that we can have enough money maybe next month to do a transfer to get that done, hopefully maybe over April vacation. John's in the process right now of working on quotes. And that we still have half the building at BCS that still needs a replacement of window blinds. We were able to do half of it last year with some remaining monies. That's not something that's allowed in Kappa, so that is something we're going to need to try to get done. Thanks.
I attended the January Bolton Scholarship. I attended the January Bolton Scholarship Fund meeting. We are gearing up for our springtime activities. Phonathon will take place, I believe, in late March. And shout out to the BHS National Honor Society kids who will be helping us assemble our annual town mailing. And then applications for scholarships will open on April 1st and run through May, I believe it's Sunday, May 3rd or May 5th, whatever the first Sunday of May is.
Thank you, Chris. Anyone else? I didn't see a PTA representative tonight.
I can briefly talk on behalf of the PTA, Andy, if you want.
Sure. Yeah, that's great.
I was not at the Tuesday meeting, but they're still fundraising toward their Boundless Playground project. They have the Summer Special Dance this Friday. I think they've sold over close to 150 tickets. They have the Spring Gala for, I believe, March in the works. They have the Wolf Pack family night that they're doing, and I believe that's in February 21st. They've sold over 100 tickets for that. They have some family nights at Urban Air coming up. I think Chuck E. Cheese maybe, and yeah, they're very busy.
As always, thank you very much. I suspect that's all for community meetings to report on. And we can turn things over to the superintendent for tonight's superintendent of schools report.
You. I'm gonna share my screen. So here to present tonight is superintendent's recommended budget for 25-26 school year. Just a reminder that that is our portrait of a graduate right there in the center, and it grounds all of the work that we do. Our vision is that all students in the Bolton Public Schools are empowered to embrace learning in a healthy mindset, continually build knowledge, develop skills, and become engaged global citizens. And this strategic plan vision statement is good through the end of 2026. An overview of the expenditure plan, you can see that it is a 4.64% requested increase, with regular instruction being 2% of that budget, student support services 4%, administration and business services 5%, operations and services, which we're going to get into a little bit later, 7%, salaries is 62%, and benefits is 20%. This is a distribution just seen differently in terms of the increases. You'll see, salaries and benefits are always the biggest drivers. Currently, our benefits number from the state partnership plan is at 13%. They gave us a window of 10 to 12%, but there is a factor added in for each county, and some counties were negative, so you would take that top number and minus out, and some were an additional, and Tallinn County was an additional 1%. We anticipate having final numbers, we hope, the end of March. I know that the town, I spoke to Jim Rupert, and they are also budgeting 13% at this point in time. We're hoping that that goes down in March, so that's a stay tuned. And you see too a really large increase in operations and services, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later on this evening. But one of the major drivers in that is the cost of electricity, and the fact that we have a new contract for electricity also. So it was like we got a double whammy there. The overview of the budget drivers include our contractual obligations as well as insurance, and that's 71.64% of the budget increase. Increased costs and maintenance of operations is 26.62% of the requested increase, and special education this year is a very small amount of 1.74% increase. So we have a number of rounds of budget deliberations that we go through. The teachers put in their budgets early on in the fall to the teacher leaders. The teacher leaders then reviewed their budgets with the building administration and with Monica and Beth. The initial increase, with just everything that everyone requested that was then approved by principals, was a 6.08% increase. I then meet with the administrative team to go through page by page, number by number, the budget. We were able to reduce it an additional $237,862 for the 4.64% increase. Some of the things that came out of that were eliminated there were a professional trainer, some online services that we were able to do in some grants, some instructional supplies and textbooks, and some instructional technology, again, that we are able to do in some grants. I just wanted to just share with everyone what local area superintendents' budget numbers are, so you can see that there, what the various numbers are, with an average for our area of 5.66%. Our projected revenues total $690,679. And that includes both federal and state grants. The state grants really are choice monies, which I just want to remind everyone are used to pay tuition for Bolton students attending state magnet and agricultural schools. And we anticipate this total projection to be $140,000 for next year. Our capital proposals that, as Ria shared, are still on the list that is moving forward to the selectmen, and that includes the second phase of the energy management system, the district handicap van replacement, district utility truck with plow replacement, and the BCS and BHS HVAC assessment. This is a 5-year set aside, $6,000 for each school, because every 5 years this needs to be this assessment needs to be done, and it was determined at Capital last year that this is how they wanted to handle it and spread it out over the 5 years. I leave this slide here just as a reminder for potential future referendum items, which will be coming up. The BCS roof replacement will need to happen. I think once things, or will at least need to be discussed, but it really does need to be replaced, as do the air handlers that are up there. Consider putting air conditioning in all classrooms. The units that are up there now that cover the office and the nurse's office and the library and a couple of other places also need to be replaced. There's been discussion for years about fixing the soccer field at Bolton High School, a science lab upgrade at Bolton Center School, and a library remodel at Bolton Center School. Here are our enrollment numbers, our actuals, and our projected for next year. And you can see there's either like maybe change by one student or going up just a little bit. The Columbia enrollment numbers, I just share that with you. They're 24, 25 enrollment there on the right. And you can see, you know, their numbers are a little bit up and down as well. And our projection for Columbia numbers for this coming year at 15 students. And the tuition rate for Columbia is $14,728.83. And you can see how that's just distributed in terms of 80% to the high school bond and 20% to the general fund. I just want to call to the board's attention the accomplishments that have happened in our schools this year. The MTSS implementation using data-focused systems and team-based decision-making to maximize student achievement and support our students' social, emotional, and behavioral needs. A continued focus on positive school climate, including safe and caring classrooms, building relationships with students, and supporting the well-being of our staff. Embedded PD on K-5 reading programs, 6 to 8 student-led conferences, BHS portfolios, and pre-K to 12 ongoing review of curriculum in Atlas. Our managed technology infrastructure support and cybersecurity services and training with Novus and advanced BPS technology plan. I will just share that I'm very appreciative that Novus is our technology infrastructure partner, particularly this year when we pretty much every school district in the country, Power School had a breach, and Novus has been essential in helping us to manage that breach and get our arms around the data that was taken and steps that we need to take next and to share with families. Continued BCS math coach to support the improvement of teachers' instructional practices and student achievement in math K-5. Our continued use of Parent Square for staff, parents, and students, and expansion of our social media presence. Continued expansion of our BHS UConn and ECSU ECE dual enrollment and AP courses, and BCS implementation of CSDE approved K-5 reading programs. Our students have been very active and engaged. We have a lot of students taking one or more AP classes or UConn ECE classes. In grade 12, we have even more students participating in those classes. We had more college applications generated this year than we did last year, which is great news. We have a number of clubs and athletics and student body participating in various clubs and athletics at both schools, and as well as in the arts. Our schools participate in the Sandy Hook Promise Start with Hello Week, Emotion into Art, the Heifer International, and other various organizations that our students support. BCS and BHS did CCMC Pajama Day for kids to support kids with cancer. We had food drives at both schools, an amazing Veterans Day assembly yet again at Bolton Center School. BCS held its 3rd annual Winter Family Night, BHS Holiday Meals and Gift Drive, BHS Senior Center Partnership, which includes food tastings and leaf raking. You heard a little bit about that last month. Red Cross blood drives at the high school for students in the community, which has been longstanding. And this year, our high school students have had over 1,200 hours of community service, which is really amazing. And kudos to them. I share these pictures as a reminder of what this budget is all about and why we do what we do and why you all give so much time to ensure we have great schools and our children are engaged and happy and learning. And lastly, this budget is focused on our guided by our strategic plan. Our priorities continue to include maintaining Bolton Public Schools as a high-performing school district, student success, caring culture, talent development, and resource stewardship. Empower, build, develop, become. This is just a reminder of upcoming dates for the board. I will send you this presentation later this evening. We have our budget workshop tonight at 7:30. We have another one on February 20th at 6:30. Our budget is due to Finance Committee by March 15th, although we try to get it to them long before that, so they have a lot of time with it. The Board of Education and the Board of Selectmen will both be presenting their budgets to the Finance Committee on March 27th. There's a budget meeting scheduled for April 3rd, April 10th, if needed, and April 17th, if needed. And that concludes my presentation this evening.
All right, thank you very much. We'll be discussing that at great length at 7:30. And we don't appear to have any unfinished business, but we do have new business, which are resignations.
We do not have it.
Oh, wow. Future business. How about a motion to go into executive session for the purposes of discussing confidential attorney-client communications and to invite Superintendent Hecht and Director Goldsnyder?
So moved. This is Chris David.
I'll
Second.
Second.
You have your choice.
Second. Whoever. Questions? How about all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Opposed or abstaining? All right, that passes, and I suppose we will have to wait for everyone to leave and turn the meeting over somehow, right?